Big guy here. I'm going to talk to you about the 4 areas of your life that you need to focus on. Actually, it's 5 areas. 5 areas of your life that you need to focus on to have a happy life. Number one, and this is the most important, number one for a reason, is your health. None of the other stuff matters if your body feels like crap because you eat like crap because you weigh too much. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't go enjoy it if you feel like crap all the time. Your health is the most important thing. I ain't saying you got to be a health nut, but you do need to work out. You need to get to a healthy weight. You need to be pretty much satisfied with how you look. Your health is the most important key to feeling happy because nothing else, none of your life situation matters if you feel like crap. You know, the old saying, when everything goes to crap, and they're like, well, at least you got your health. And yeah, that's exactly why. You got to have your health. Your health is the most important. After health, the others are kind of, it doesn't really matter of importance, but there's still areas you got to work on. So you're working out, you're eating better. That's number one thing you got to do immediately. Second thing is your wealth. Now, you ain't got to be rich to be happy. Plenty of unhappy rich people. But by wealth, you can't be drowning in debt. You need to live within your means. And personally, I found that when my bills, bills to income ratio is like 40%, when 40% of my paycheck goes to my bills or less, I'm pretty happy. That means if I skip a paycheck, I know the next paycheck can pay for everything. When I get over that 40% mark, 50, 60, 70%, start getting a little stressed. And gets to 80%, life sucks. Kind of hard to be happy, and you're trying to work your tail off to struggle to make ends meet. So you got to get your spending under control. Get rid of unnecessary bills. I mean, you really don't need a $200 phone bill. Internet, cable, depending on what you use it for, there's a lot of stuff you can cut out. You don't even need that expensive a car payment. I mean, a cheap car gets you from point A to B just as much as an expensive car. And even the way I live my lifestyle, I have several cheap vehicles. I mean, I have one decent one, but compared to what things cost nowadays, it's relatively cheap. And that, you know, I pay $500 a month for my SUV. I could easily go pay $1,000 a month for something that costs twice as much. There's your $500 a month. Lets me take a weekend vacation. Totally worth it to me. And I still got a nice vehicle. You just gotta live within your means. You don't have to have a brand new car. You can go get something cheaper. So, anyways, back to the point. You starting to work out, eat better, trying to get your money under control. The next thing is social. You gotta have friends. You gotta have people you hang out with. No human is island. No man is an island. And if you're by yourself all the time, you're going to get depressed. And, you know, men can adjust to it. We can get used to living by ourselves. I don't recommend it. Men are happier when they're with their own people. People that challenge them to make them better. People that, care for them. You got to go out and find your friend group. And the easiest way to find friend groups goes into the next one. You got to have hobbies and passions, man. You got to have stuff that you enjoy that makes life worth living. What we evolved from, all we did was, hunt, seek shelter, right? Make clothing. Everything we did had a purpose for our survival. And nowadays, everything we do really doesn't. I mean, I fix cars for a living, but as far as my body knows, fixing a car is not going to feed me or shelter me. So my body thinks it feels kind of pointless, right? But it's not. It gives me money, which means access to other stuff. But you got to do things that make you happy. And you got to find what makes you happy, and you got to pursue that. You got to have goals. You got to, your first goal right now should be eating better and working out, getting healthier. Then your second goal, get your wealth under control. Go out and find new people, have good friends. And when you're doing your passions and hobbies, like let's say you're getting mountain biking, right? Just go buy a decent mountain bike and go to the top of a mountain somewhere and start rolling down. I promise you, you'll find some people there. And, be friendly. The easiest way to meet people, you got to send up your friendly flag, which is smile. Maybe not so creepy like that, but you smile a little bit. But you got to find your hobbies. And once you find your hobbies, you will meet people that are into those hobbies, and those will be your people. That'll be people you have things in common with. And you'll start making good friends. Finally, the last thing, the last step to the key to happiness, spirituality. I ain't gonna try to sit here and preach religion on you. I know what I believe in. But I will tell you, this is a crazy world we live in, and it's a lot easier to make sense of it if you go out and find your God. I say your God. I believe there's only one God. It doesn't matter what I believe. What I'm telling you is, if you go out there and try to find Him, He'll find you. And, growing up, I'm from the South, and there's a religion's pretty big down here, right? I mean, and especially in high school and all this stuff, and religion seems like it's forced on you. And the one thing, I always thought men of faith were real weak, right? I always thought faith was a weak thing, sign of weakness. And that's because I was always surrounded by very effeminate men, going to church, little God squad. And these guys, like, you could thump and they'd cry, God help me or something. I don't know. It's just, these guys really kind of turned me off to religion. And then later, as I started developing myself, I got doing my own research, went out, found God or found me, either way. And the one thing I realized is that a true man of faith makes a guy stronger, way stronger. And throughout history, there have been a lot of times where men of faith only had faith to persevere through hard times. Because think about it. Let's say you're in a bad situation, and all the evidence is saying that if you try, you will fail. It could be because you're broke, you're outnumbered, just everything's pointing to you and saying, yeah, keep trying, you're going to fail, it's going to end horribly for you. But for some reason, you got this little bit of faith in you that somebody out there, big guy upstairs, if you will, is telling you to keep on. That even though everything looks bad, on paper, everything says you're going to fail, keep on. And you'll make this through, and you'll make it through this stronger than ever. And that makes men of faith way stronger than a guy who believes in nothing. So, yeah, you got to go out there and find your own spirituality. And if you do those 5 things, I promise you, you'll have a happier life. Again, and you'll find I preach kind of the same things in all the videos. But there are reasons for it. You got to get your health in check. You got to get your spending in check. You got to live within your means. You got to have your group of people. You got to have your hobbies and passions. And you got to find your own spirituality. You do that, I promise you, you will have a happy life. Big guy out.